Baltimore heads down to Tampa Bay for a Monday night game against Baker Mayfield and the Tampa Bay Bucs. Nick, how you see this game playing out?
I believe this game should be relatively high scoring on both sides. You got the Bucks who come in second in the league in scoring with averaging 29.7 points a game, so pretty much 30 points a clip on offense, and the Ravens are right behind them, fourth in the league in scoring at 29.5 points per game. So two evenly matched teams as far as the ability to put points on the board. I think they have a key matchup this going into the game with Mike Evans a little hampered with a leg injury. Chris Godwin in the slot. The slot is an area in which the Ravens have struggled to defend all season. So you have Chris Godwin there who's having an incredible season. He looks like the Chris Godwin pre ACL injury. So it's taken him a couple years to get his athleticism and speed back, but now he's dominating in the ways in which he did a few years ago, and it's good to see. But that's going to be a huge challenge for the Ravens. The Bucs have a great run game as well. You can't really pinpoint the back, but they do it by committee. You have Rashad White, who's a good pass catcher. You have Bucky Irvin, who's a rookie who, in
Mhm.
between the tackles, has showed explosion and showed him some good things. And then last week, forgot who the third running back was. I think Tucker, if I'm not mistaken. I forget his first name. I'll get that for you. But he looked damn good last week. What's his name? Sean Tucker. I apologize. He had 14 attempts, 136 yards, and a rush touchdown with 3 catches and 56 yards and a receiving touchdown last week, filling in and helping Bucky Irvin fill in for Rashad White. So he's earned time. Todd Bowles has said he's going to be a part of a 3-man committee. So that's 3 different backs, 3 different skill sets we'll have to account for. Obviously, you have Mike Evans also on the outside who looks like he'll play, might be a little hampered, picked up a hammy, I think, or some sort of leg injury, and it's been limited in practice. But that's somebody else that has a great connection with Baker Mayfield that we're gonna have to account for. The Bucks aren't the same Bucks, from uh, years past as far as what we thought they would be after Tom Brady. They showed last year they're a playoff team, showing this year that they're going to be uh, a challenge to be dealt with as well, and then probably a postseason team as well. So, we're 3.5 point favorites on the road. I think that's pretty fair. I do expect the Ravens to win. I think, Lamar Jackson, I think he's going to be the difference maker. He's been the difference maker every game. I've been saying it for a few weeks that he's playing the quarterback position, the best I've ever seen him play, whether it's throwing the football, making progressions, staying in the pocket, accuracy, touch passes, knowing when to zip it in there, but also knowing when to lightly touch it in there. And the numbers are corroborating this story. 2019, he averaged 289 total yards per game, 208 pass yards a game, 80 rush yards a game, and a passer rating of 113. Last year, 200, and these are MVP seasons that I'm giving you. Last year in the MVP season, the second MVP season, 281 total yards per game, 229 pass yards per game, 51 rush yards per game, 8 yards attempt rushing, and 102.7 passer rated. So I say all that to say in 2024, he's averaging more yards per game, pass yards per game, rush yards per game, yards per attempt, and higher passer rating than he did in his previous 2 MVP seasons. So what that tells me is that he's performing at a career best level, and he's already a 2-time MVP. So you guys can think about what that means. But this is why I can't hype up mid. You got people like Lamar Jackson, who was called a wide receiver, that from year to year to year to year to year has added tools to his toolbox and has gotten better and has evolved. And he don't need no handouts. He's just great. You know what I mean? There's no excuses with Lamar. He's just great. He's just elite. And that's what I respect the most about him, because he's had a tougher road than most to kind of get to this point. And now nobody can dispute whether he's a quarterback in this NFL, because he's the best one, in my opinion. Saying that to say this, I think it's going to be a close game, high scoring game, but I think the Ravens will be able to edge it out.
All right. Yeah. Let's say about them keys.
Hit me on a slant. Give me keys to the inside. They took the keys. We don't have any keys.
Now give me the keys.
Yeah, I agree with everything Nick said. Definitely gonna be a high scoring game. Their strongest thing to do is pass the ball. Our weakest thing to do is defend the ball. Like we 31st or 32nd in passing defense, and it's so weird because you top 5 in run defense, but you bottom 3 in pass defense. You really never see that. It's been like that. It seems like only the Ravens can put out stats like that where it's such a dynamic in it where you dominant in the run game and you so bad in pass coverage. But I think if Tampa Bay, if they are more dedicated to the run, they have the offensive line to run the ball. But they make no mistake about it. They like being one dimensional. They like sitting back and throwing the ball. That's what they do best. I mean, when you got to Nick's point, when you got Godwin playing it out what he's playing, he's looking like he wants to be a top 10 paid wide receiver. And then you got the Hall of Fame Mike Evans when they playing at the top of that game like they are. You throw in you throw in I forgot who that slot receiver is. But they got a lot. They got weapons down there. They got Tristan Wirfs in the offensive line, so it's not going to be walk-in cakewalk type of game, but especially with that defense, I'm interested to see what the plan is, what the defensive plan is, especially secondary. This is going to be a big game for the linebackers because they're going to be a lot of one-on-one. Because I feel like, as a fan looking at it, from looking at all the tape, you should be playing double coverage over the top on both of Godwin and Evans. Like it ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about that. So I don't think your safety is going to be able to make a lot of game changing plays. In the running game up there. So it's going to be a big game for the linebackers to be able to defend them tight ends one-on-one, to be able to defend them running backs coming out of the backfield. Because Tampa Bay, looking at the film, they got a sneaky screen game. Like they don't do it a lot, but when they do it, it's very, very effective. Very, very effective. And they'll sneak Rashad out. Like I said, they'll sneak Rashad White out. They'll sneak Bucky Irvin out, and it's very, very effective. So, and the Ravens have been susceptible to defending that run game. Defending that screen game. So that's going to be important. Another important thing is Baker. You got to get hands. When you get hands on Baker Mayfield, you got to bring him down. He's sneaky. He can get out the pocket. We've seen that in Cleveland. All of us are very familiar with Baker Mayfield. And I think a lot of people don't take him getting out of the pocket and him running very serious. He can get out the pocket. He can kill you with his legs. If you're not paying attention to that, he will kill you with his legs. We saw it against the Lions. We saw it against the Eagles. He can get out the pocket. But with all that being said, they good defensively. They decent defensively, but what I've seen, I don't got them stopping Lamar. Just if the Ravens do what they got to do, I think we should be favored. We are favored. I think the Ravens do what they got to do. They should be able to go in there and get a W. But it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy at all. It's not one of them games a laugh or where we sitting back and we chilling by halftime. It's definitely a close game because we can't defend on this defense. But I think if the Ravens just keep their foot on the pedal like they have been doing the last couple of weeks, spread the ball around, get Zay Flowers involved early, keep running the ball, keep giving it to Derrick Henry. The Bucs defense don't defend, quarterbacks that can get out of the pocket right. Well, Jaden Daniels killed them. Jalen Hurts was decent against him outside of the pocket. I'm missing somebody.
Spencer Rattler
he
had some success.
Spencer Rattler. I'm missing somebody that killed him.
Bo Nix.
That's what Bo Nix. That's what it was exactly. Thank you. Bo Nix killed him outside the pocket. So if their defense is weak in one area, is that they don't contain quarterbacks in the pocket very well. So I look for Lamar to have a good game. But that being said, I'm sure that's what their defensive emphasis is this week, is to contain the quarterback in the pocket, which is fine with us because we've seen Lamar can, he has been, and now he's really becoming, to me, is no better to Nick's point. It ain't nobody playing quarterback better than Lamar right now. It's literally nobody is. He's taking it. He's showing like now his concepts. You can't just drop back and straight blitz him. It's like he's mastering the quarterback position now. And that's after he's won 2 MVP. So it's only up from here. But it's going to be a challenging game. I don't know if Dean's going to play. I know he missed some practice this week, but he's a big figure in that secondary. So they have pieces. They very well coached. Todd Bowles is a great coach, and Baker Mayfield is playing good football. So you just got to get pressure on them and get your hands on them and tackle. You have to tackle Baker. I saw him escape so many tackles in the pocket watching his tape over those days. He just escaped tackles and he goes on 15, 20-yard runs and it changed the whole complexion of the game. So this is, like I said, you can get to them, but you got to tackle. But I expect this game to be won on offense. I expect the Ravens to win this, to be able to put up points on them, just like them be able to put up points on us. But I expect them to get out for the Bucs. Yeah, I guess my key matchup would be in this game. It's going to be linebacker. It's going to be I'm looking at Roquan Smith. I need him to control the game because they are a decent running team, but we can't let them get off. We got to control that screen game, that underneath game, because we know they're going to throw the ball on top. We know that. So you got to be able to control everything in front of you. So I'm really looking at that linebacker position. I think Malik Harrison is out again. He didn't practice all week. But I'm looking at that. But it should be a game that they should be able to go in there and win. Just got to keep the foot on the pedal.
All right, Keith, how you see this game playing out?
Yeah, I was going to say, I think Keys just alluded to Roquan in the run game. The Buccaneers had 27 rushes this season, 10-plus yards. That's their most through 6 games since 1999. On the other hand, the Ravens, we've only given up 3 rushes over 10 yards this year, the fewest of any team through the 6 games this year. So definitely you're going to get a mix. You're going to have to be able to stop those explosive runs because that opens up the pass game for them. But like Keith said as well, sometimes they'll just sit back and throw back and pass too. And why not when you have Mike Evans and Chris Godwin, especially with this pass defense that's 31st right now in the NFL, giving up over like 270 plus passing yards per week. So definitely going to be something that we're going to have to watch out. What does this defense do? Believe I saw a stat, and hold up, I'll pull it up real quick, that says, according to Next Gen Stats, Baltimore defense has forced the highest percentage of tight window throws in the NFL at 23%. So playing good coverage but still giving up completions. So they have to figure out a way to get those stops, turn some of those tight window throws into incompletions. Because I can think right now, like the Devontae Adams catch on the sideline, like just chunk plays that they've given up on third down to extend drives that can't happen, especially against an explosive offense like Tampa Bay. We talk about this run defense. This run defense is almost looking historic through 6 games. Travis Jones has a big part to do with that. We don't talk about him a lot. Sometimes his name gets lost in the sauce, but he's having a hell of a season so far. But as far as the game itself, I think it's just another chance for the Ravens to grow. I think Todd Monken said it best. You can't carry over what happened the last few weeks to this week. It's a whole new slate, whole new game. And I think as long as the Ravens are maintaining that mindset week to week, going in fresh, who cares what happened last week? You remain hungry in a sense, and you continue to see this offense evolve. We talked about Zay earlier in the season. What's he doing? Just running a bunch of screen passes. Now what's Zay doing? He's getting down the field. He's getting open, running those option routes. And so this offense looks good week by week. I mean, Lamar going back home to Florida. We know how he plays at home. Normally puts on a show. Plays well in prime time. So I think it's a game that the Ravens can win, but then I think about the intangibles, the coaching, what could happen, play calling, that type of thing. And sometimes we put ourselves against the wall with that, but it's a very winnable game. A chance to go 5-2, make it 5 in a row. And the way I'm feeling right now, I think it's a high scoring game, but I think it's a game maybe the Ravens win like 38-28, 38-27 right now.
Okay, cool. Nick, what's the matchup you keying in on Monday night?
I mean, I already spoke on it. Chris Godwin versus our slot corners. I think I think we're bottom 3 in the league defending the slot, and he's one of the best slot receivers in the NFL. So it's really going to be a lot of their offense if Mike Evans is hampered any. And yeah, they do stop the run, but our defense is a pass funnel. So why run the ball if I can throw 400 yards on you, So that's going to be key. We're going to have to get some stops in the secondary. Yeah, they do play what's considered tight coverage, but how many times have we seen in the last couple of years where they're on a wide receiver wide on Rice and the receiver just makes a play on the football, and great offense beats good defense? At a certain point, you are what you are. If it's not good coverage if you allow the catch, in my opinion. I see a lot of Raven fans says, Brandon Stevens, he's right there. He just has to turn his head. But the point is, he never turns his head. That's why he keeps getting thrown at.
Right.
So we're going to have to figure something out with that.
Yeah, I agree. I think this week I speak a lot about Lamar and not putting him on your ticket. I think this week is going to be pretty safe to put him on there for rushing yards. Keys alluded to it. I've seen too many quarterbacks burn them up, getting outside the pocket, and you're talking about the best in the league that does that. And it's just going to make y'all that much harder to defend. It's going to be an exciting game, an entertaining game, but I think what is Lamar 22-1 against the NFC? I think you can pencil in 23-1 once the game is over Monday night because that defense, even though Todd Bowles is good, that's their one flaw. It's a hell of a flaw to have against Lamar Jackson. He's going to exploit that.
For somebody who don't like the Ravens, you love betting on Lamar.
No. Listen to me. I don't like the Ravens. Unfortunately, I do like Lamar though. Lamar's one of them ones. I put him in the pantheon with Ray and Sizzle and Ed.
It's how I feel about Jaden Daniels. Like it's hard.
Yeah, it's like, damn, I do not want to like this dude, but you can't hate on greatness. Like I hated on Tom Brady so long after the Atlanta Super Bowl. I was like, yo, why am I hating this dude? He's great. I look stupid hating him. He's great. Lamar's there. He's frustrating to bet on because you don't know week to week what he wants to do. If he wants to throw for 350 or run 400. I think this week is just so seeing Bo Nix burn him up and Spencer Rattler in his first start and all these other guys. It's not going to say easy. It's the NFL, but the opportunities are going to be there for him to get outside the pocket and make splash plays with his legs.
Yeah, and I think Tampa Bay is a bottom 3 unit when it comes to defending the run. So they're not horrible, but they're middling. I think that serves well Derrick Henry and Lamar, in the run game and trying to, just establish or continue to establish dominance there, which opens up everything else. And again, like we talked about it when the O-line was reconstructed, so to speak, Makari moved inside and the rookie moved to the right tackle position. That's a big key as to why we're able to get deeper into routes and kind of diversify our route tree as far as what plays we were calling. The first few weeks, everything had to be at the line of scrimmage because we couldn't pass protect worth a damn. It was a danger to Lamar's health and his prosperity trying to throw the ball and do 3-step drops or 5-step drops. So now that the O-line has been reconstructed, they're showing more chemistry. They're allowing him to drop back deeper, allowing receivers to get deeper into their routes. You're just seeing year 2 of what Monken has been cooking up. And, I never seen Zay Flowers look like AB, but he was looking like AB last week. And that type of stuff excites me because it shows that we can pepper a receiver with targets. It shows that a receiver can win repeatedly. All those things bode well for what really matters, which is, where we want to get back to, which is being in a driver's position to win a Super Bowl, having that road in front of us, and all we have to do is walk through the door. That's where I want to get back to. And it seems like the things that have beat us in the past, we're trying to work on those things and work on those counters as the season goes on. I just hope when we get to January, all that progress isn't lost, and because it seems like we panic. Just like when the lights are bright, we seem to panic. I think last year was a year in which we lost all our inhibition, right? Like it don't get no lower than that. This is the second time you had home field advantage throughout the playoffs. Second time you were on the cusp, at home, feeling good about being at home, and then you just play a game that you aren't proud of, so to speak. I think, for Lamar specifically, I think just lost all those inhibitions, just gained a little bit of fuck it. And that fuck it, I think, is going to bode well as we go forward.
Yeah, I was going to say, you talk about Lamar, I think he had mentioned it this week, like he felt like the game is just like slowing down for him at this point. His exact quote actually was, I just feel like everything is slowing down even more just from the 7 years I've been in the league, seeing all types of defenses, seeing all types of blitzes. Everything is just second nature right now. And it was like a clip that came out from Washington, the tight end, I guess who used to play for him, Logan Paulson, where he was saying like Lamar was basically identifying everything at the line last week. Like he's out there calling the plays, calling the audibles. Like he anything that Washington threw at him last week, like Lamar, it didn't phase him essentially. So he compared it to like Tom Brady and Peyton Manning running the offense, and wow, who knew a running back could do that?
I also think the strength of their defense isn't really going to be a strength. I am Vita Vea against the interior of y'all line. Y'all line is playing better, but y'all run away. Y'all do stretch plays. Like y'all don't necessarily run straight up the middle with Derrick Henry. Y'all can run a toss with him. So I even think y'all can negate that. It's going to be a struggle for them. It's going to be a struggle for them. But I think they can go point for point
When's the
in
last
the
team
air.
When's the last team that stopped our run? I never really worry about a team
Stop
just
the run?
stopping us. You know what I mean?
Nah, y'all stop y'all run when y'all decide not to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is a way
That's
to
our
stop
state.
the run.
Yeah, which is a way to get you out of your game.
Yeah.
But this year, nobody has really gone up. I mean, the Bengals did, but y'all showed, all right, cool. I think that was a big confidence builder for the fan base. I know Lamar, but for the fan base to know, oh, if we go down 15, we can still call pass play. I mean, we can still run the ball. We can still, and if we have to be one-dimensional, we can be one-dimensional and be successful.
Yeah, and a lot of that has to do with third down percentage. Like we 51.5, we converting 51.5% of third downs. We rank first in the league. Like this is a team we used to be in third and whatever, and it's like, all right, get ready to bring Sam Coke out, get the punt team ready. Like so when you moving the ball, you on third down, especially, I mean, and I hate to bring it up, but you saw it like in the game first the Cowboys with y'all a few weeks ago. Like they back breakers. Like when you continually convert on third down at a high clip, it cripples the defense. It takes the crowd out the game, and it's like so to be able to do that at a consistent clip finally, it just shows that this offense is continuing to mature week by week.
At the end of the day, Keith, you brought it up, but you just gotta wait for Harbaugh to piss down his leg. It's coming. It's gonna happen.
I mean, that's the only thing that stops the run game. Harbaugh and them, like it
gonna happen.
I haven't seen a defense that's done it.
Yeah,
I've never seen so many wins over the last 6 or 7 years. Like when you win despite of, right? Like Harbaugh be sabotaging in wins and losses. He doesn't discriminate. You know what I mean? That's why I saw somebody. I saw somebody
you about
tweet.
to say what I'm about to say, probably.
Yeah, I saw somebody tweet some foolishness like, "Yeah, I don't hear anybody saying anything about fire John Harbaugh now." I'm like, "What are you talking about? Like he's been the same in wins and losses. Like, yo, in a win, he had an injury timeout and called a timeout the next play and caused the penalty, and then was looking on the sideline like."
Yeah.
Like he didn't know what was going on. Like, bro, you're the coach. You're supposed to know the NFL rules and regulations.
Well, y'all know how. Yeah, it's going good. So now it's wins are.
I mean, Harbaugh get all the credit. It's crazy. Harbaugh get all the credit. Lamar get all the blame. It ain't no. And I think that's got part of why, like Nick said, that effort attitude with Lamar now. Like he sees how it goes in the media. Win or lose, I mean, when it's not Lamar, lose, everything is on 8 now. So
and I yeah, that's facts. And I gotta say this publicly. I love Derrick Henry. I respect Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry is one of the best running backs we've ever seen. He's a Hall of Famer. He was that guy before Lamar Jackson. He'll be that guy after Lamar Jackson. Saying that, please stop saying that Derrick Henry is like impacting Lamar in a way in which is like MVP level. Like, can we stop?
I mean, I think that was in whoever doing this. Like,
it's the other way around. To be honest,
Nick said it when he said like this is the would you say Derrick Henry's gone like 4 yards before he even gets touched in his career? Like that has a lot to do with 8.
No, it's a lot.
Last year that stat was reversed. Last year he was among the worst in the league as far as he was getting touched close 2 yards within the line of scrimmage. You
put 11 in the box when he was in Tennessee.
Do y'all remember Devontae Freeman and Latavius Murray?
Hell yeah!
I saw that for a season, and you turn back the hands of time. Not much because they were washed, but if you turn back the hands of time on anybody who's washed, that's crazy. And it's like
them looking like Atlanta Devontae.
Yeah, the question is like, who hasn't succeeded in the run game next to Lamar? Gus Edwards made a career off of it. What is he doing now? He's a replacement level talent, respectfully. You know what I mean? Derrick Henry is different, though. He's not replacement level. So that's why it's cheating. That's why teams are kind of scared. They're like, oh, shit, you mean to tell me 250-pound running back can get 4 yards down the field before anybody touches him? And we have to tackle that guy. And you telling me to tackle him as it gets colder? That's cheating. I get it. But we talking about MVP. Can we stop? Can we stop?
Yeah, we know who the MVP is.
That's all.
He's playing out.
Offensive player of the year. Give it to Derrick Henry. Offensive player of the year. Cool.
Yeah, right.
MVP?
yeah, you can have that. Yeah, right. Just going by how the year is going, I know why he's there. It ain't really a lot of quarterbacks, big names that are like lighting it up right now. So you got to put a name up there. But nah, it's like an athletic center playing with Chris Paul. Yeah, you're going to be good in the pick and roll. It's the point guard, right? Like, I didn't see DeAndre Jordan do that with anybody else but Chris Paul. So it's cool. It's cool.
I mean, he on pace for what, like 4K pass and 1K on the ground. Like, nobody's ever seen this.
Listen, if people are worried about stats this year, stats any year, his stats this year is better than his stats at any other point, other than like passing touchdowns, his first MVP. But I don't know, man. He looking.
And if you being honest, them 2 interceptions ain't on him. One is a Bateman drop, one is a Mark drop.
Mm-hmm.
It's true.
He's been real careful with the ball.
He's been real
cut down on the fumbles.
Yeah,
and he's just been a smarter player. Like remember back in the day, like the little bit of criticism we could have for Lamar is, dang, Lamar missed a few throws. Dang, that throw got away from Lamar. If Lamar would have hit that throw. I feel like the only time we've said that this season is when he missed Zay Flowers in the back of the end zone week 1 against the Chiefs, where a throw just got away from him. I haven't seen any throws get away from him. That's scary. When you talk about he's hitting people on the outside hash marks, he's hitting people, you know what I mean, vertically. He's hitting people sidearm passes. Like, he just doing it in a way in which we've seen done before, but we haven't seen it done this consistently. Time after time. Like, he's being surgical out there, and it's I hope this keeps up when it's time to like really assert ourselves. I just hope this keeps up, because if it does, Skull, I'm be coming in here telling you we Super Bowl champs, and you won't have to deal with that.
Nah. Even with all his greatness,
he gonna call
coaches. You're no. I never run from smoke. I was here for
how many Steelers? How many Steelers Super Bowls do you have? Like, in general, like the franchise?
6.
Oh, that's what you're gonna come back with?
No,
you gonna say 3 to 6?
He gonna be counting.
No.
You're gonna be like Klay Thompson.
Mainly because it's not gonna happen. Like, your coach is still your coach.
Yeah, that's all. That's the only, literally, that's probably the only thing.
No matter how great the player is, your coach is still your coach. So
we gotta win.
I got that in my back pocket. But if y'all do win the Super Bowl, I'm not gonna call out. I'm gonna be here. I'm gonna let y'all have y'all moment. Because if God forbid, if I won one, I would hate for y'all to call out. No, I want to celebrate with y'all.
Here's a quick topic, because I know we want to talk about the Steelers. And shout out to us, being top of the AFC North and having primetime games this week. We deserve it. Yeah. But there was a tweet I saw. I forgot who said it, but it was a talking head on one of the big networks. Mentioned John Harbaugh potentially being a top 10 coach of all time. Did y'all see that?
I saw that. I don't know if I saw that specific one, but I saw one that they saying like, oh yeah, he's like, they just ain't
one of the
somebody
best.
Say he's a Hall of Fame coach, and everybody disagree. Oh yeah, he's a Hall of Fame coach. What the hell have y'all been watching? Like,
I think it was Tony Romo. Tony Romo said,
"Yeah, he said he's one of the best of all time."
Yeah, that's longevity doesn't mean that you are nice. Like, that doesn't mean that you have been around that and your friends like consistency. Like,
it means the GM bakes cookies next door to you. That's what it means.
Like, don't mean that.
The thing is, he's gonna get in
because he's going to get in. He's going to get in.
The wins, longevity, and he got the bowl. He's gonna get in, but everybody
and the family,
and we've seen
it. Or they want to Harbaugh in the Hall of Fame. Bad boy. They can't put Jim bum ass in there because he was a good enough player. But as far they're gonna definitely put John there. But yeah, I mean, to your point, Nick, about Lamar playing the best he's playing, I just think he not only has it looked like he's matched position, he's grown as a quarterback, but he's in the second year of his system now. So he has more checks for him. he's understanding more. You can see last year they wasn't on the same page at all time. Late in the year they did in the playoff game, but now I feel like him and Moncton is him is Monk. Like they not on the same page. It's very rare that you don't see them on the same page or what's going on. You could tell that. All right, this is Lamar offense now. Like last year he was learning it. Now it's like, all right, this is my offense now.
Keys, do you remember when we used to say that we should have got rid of Greg Roman sooner so that Lamar could develop faster?
Mm-hmm.
This is kind of fruit of that, right? Like you saw in 2 years with Monken, not saying Lamar was a bad passer. He was a good passer. We've seen him turn from good to very good to potentially great right now as a thrower of the football. It just seems like he was stuck in development with Greg Roman for so many years, and like he had reached the ceiling, even though that ceiling was unanimous MVP level and perennial playoff, perennial quarterback that would take your team to the playoffs. It just seems like there was more levels to attain, and now we're seeing that, and it's beautiful to watch the pivot. I'm happy that we finally cross this bridge, and it feels good to be here now, because this is kind of what we envisioned as far as once Lamar showed us that he was MVP caliber. This is what we envisioned as far as close to the end product, as far as where his ceiling could be. Now it's the legs are a little bit of an afterthought now. You know, he runs when he feels like it. You know, he used to have to run, you know, to set up passing. Now it's, you know, I run when I feel like it, and y'all gonna have to account for that and account for Derrick Henry, which is fucking nuts.
All right. So I guess it's safe. I can hit this button. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
The next one ain't gonna be a 1, 2, 3, Scott.
It might be. It might be. Find out next on Dragon Ball Z.
When I want some sports news, Nitty Gritty is definitely who I'm tuning into, man. They show up each week with that uncut, that raw, that unfiltered sports news.
They say the things that everyone else wishes that they can say, but they can't.
Every Tuesday and Saturday, I am locked into my favorite sports show, Nitty Gritty.
Nitty Gritty, the best show out right now. Tune in and listen, stupid.